Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today marks the conclusion of my Halloween specials, and what better way to celebrate that than by doing a look based on dark souls. Now, half of the face is based on the person that you may have created during character creation, and the other half is the hollow that she will eventually become. So if you want to see more of this half hollow, half regular character look, just keep on watching. Just like the previous weeks, we have our primer and foundation already done, and in addition to that, I have a contact lens in the hollow side of my eye. This contact lens is the Princess Pinky Twilight Reborn lens in the color brown. Now it's the same one we used in the e.l.f. tutorial, but this look will be much more sinister. I put a normal contact lens in this eye just to show the difference between the two so that you can see the stark contrast. Now we'll continue on with concealer. I'm using Tarte Shape Tape. I'm putting that just under the eye in a V shape on my cheek and anywhere where there are blemishes or spots that I'd like to cover. And we can blend it using either a beauty sponge or a brush. Now that the concealer's done, I'm going to go ahead and prime my eyes with the Too Faced Shadow Insurance Primer. This prevents any creasing in the eyeshadow that we're about to use. The scariest part of this look is I don't know exactly where I'm going with it. I have a concept in my mind of a half hollow face. Now I thought at first that that was the most original idea until I realized, wait a second, Lucatiel from Dark Souls 2 has the same look. Now I'm not going to do it picture perfect to Lucatiel, but you can use this if you would like to cosplay her. I'm going with a little bit more of an original concept. Now I'm going to start by blocking off the part of my face that I'd like to be hollow with my eyebrow pencil. I'm using the NYX Professional Makeup Micro Brow Pencil in the color Taupe. You can use any color that is maybe a little bit darker, a little bit close to your own skin tone. I'm gonna make the eyes pretty uniform though. They're not gonna be so much glam as much as a very, very deep, smoky black tone. I'm going in with the Jaclyn Hill palette because it has such a great array of browns and even a deep black in there, so I thought that was perfect. And I'm going to start out with the shade Pooter to act as a transition shade. I'm also going to take this pretty deep under both eyes. Now because my skin tends to lean cool, all the warm browns in this palette tend to pull orange on me. I'm going to tone that down with a NYX blush in the shade Taupe. We're going to continue to deepen this with the shade Chip with the same fluffy brush that we used on the very top. Now, unlike with the other colors, we're not going to go on the underside of the eye just yet because we're going to fine-tune these deeper shades. Next, I'm going to take a packing brush and go into the deep brown shade Soda Pop and just coat the top of the eyelid with that. And then we blend with the same fluffy brush that we used for the rest of the eye. Now taking our packing brush, we're going to deepen this even more. We're going into the very appropriately named shade Abyss. Oh, that's terrible. How did that happen? I'm gonna go clean this up. Now because of that little mess up, I ended up bringing my makeup wipes just in case this continues to get messy because it just might. I'm going to go ahead and add a little bit of loose powder to my upper cheekbone just in case there's some fallout along the way. Now that we're back on track, we'll go ahead and continue to blend with our fluffy brush. We're going to go ahead and translate those colors from the top to the bottom. I'm taking a slightly smaller fluffy brush and I'm dipping into the shade Chip to add to the middle and outer part of the under eye. Now I'm going to take the first fluffy brush we used and then blend all of that in with the same transition shade called Pooter. Now I'm doing such an extreme look on both eyes because really as the undead Ashen one, you've really been through some stuff. So I want the eye look to reflect that. One more thing I'm going to do uniform on both of my eyes are the eyebrows. So I'm going in with my NYX Micro Brow Pencil in the shade Taupe just to fill in my brows. I'm really debating on whether or not I want to use lashes in general. This could be kind of a glam look. At the same time though, this eye should look quite dark. You know, even when you're hollow, you can still have fabulous lashes, so let's do it. I'm going ahead and using the same small lashes that I used last week, which is Cocoa Lashes and Muse. Now, what I do is I go in with my Duo Lash Glue. You could use any lash glue, it's just that this one's really convenient and you can find it at most drugstores. Put it right onto the pan, and then I let it dry for a moment so that it can get tacky. While that dries, I'm gonna go ahead and clean off these lashes. They've seen quite a lot in the past few weeks. Now what I do to apply them is I dip the ends in first to get a good amount of glue on, and then I dip the remainder in the glue before applying them to my lashes. And now because this is a white lash glue, it will actually dry down clear within a few minutes. Now that the glue is almost dry, I'm going in with my Butter London Double Decker Mascara and just coating the top of the lashes with them, and then going a little bit on the bottom as well. I'm gonna go ahead and do the Perfect Waifu side of my face first. Because Dark Souls as a series tends to have such a muted color scheme, I'm gonna go just a tad muted with my face makeup today. I'm gonna start out by bronzing with the NYX blush in the shade Taupe, which is more of a grayish brown to go with that muted color scheme. And note I'm only putting this on the healthy side of my face. Now, if you're concerned about using the shade Taupe because you may have darker skin or if you have warmer skin, that's totally fine. Just replace that with a bronzer that works for you or one that might just wash you out just a tad. I want you to know that you can do this look no matter what your skin tone is. Now I'm gonna go further by putting on powder on the healthy side of my face. I'm going in with the MAC and PatrickStarrr powder. Now I'm going to top that off with some highlighter. I'm going back in with the Urban Decay and Kristen Leanne highlighter. I'm using the Center Golden Tone, but you can use whatever highlighter works for you best. Now keep in mind, I'm only putting this on the healthy side of my face. Now that this side looks nice, healthy, and done, we're going to go and mess up this side pretty bad. I forgot to brush off the excess powder on both sides. I'm gonna go ahead and do that right now. Now we're gonna start the interesting process of making ourselves look half hollow. I'm gonna shade down the line in the middle of my face using a gray eyeshadow. Any matte gray will do. I happen to be using the MAC eyeshadow in the shade Scene. And I'm gonna go ahead and use a fluffy brush for this part. This will add a little bit of shading and dimension. I'm gonna add a little foundation to my lips to block it out for now. I'm gonna add the gray eyeshadow to my lips just a tad. Now I'm gonna shade in the depths of my face with the same shade of gray, and I'll be using my powder brush for the step. Now I don't have a particular plan for this because I'm just adding a wash of color, so you can follow along with this if you want, or you can do your own original idea. This is all about being creative. And I think I'm gonna start by hollowing out my cheeks and just making this whole top area here very, very gray, and then I'm gonna deepen it with some browns in a moment. This is exciting. You can already see the contrast starting to happen there. I'm also gonna start to add a little bit of gray underneath this eye to trickle down a bit. I'm gonna start by using a fluffy brush, and then I'm gonna go in and fine tune it. Now the thing about hollows is they look like they have some really, really deep grooves into their face, so I'm gonna start by indicating that with color, and then I'm gonna go in using the same scarring liquid that we used for the lady look, and it's called the Mehron Rigid Collodion. What that does is when you use it on a section of the face like the cheek, it creates a scarring effect there. So although last week I only got a very minimal effect on the nose, I'm going to use it on more of a fuller part of my face so that it really can take effect. Now, right before we go in with the scarring liquid, I'm gonna add a little bit more brown to this because the hollows have kind of a mix between a gray and a brown, and I want to translate that on this side of my face. I'm gonna do that by going back into the Jaclyn Hill palette and use that deep brown shade Chip, and then put it on my bronzing / contour brush and put it on any place where I would normally bronze or contour. So now I'm gonna go in with the scarring liquid and we're gonna see what happened. I'm gonna put on much more product than I did last week. They say the more product, the better it works. I'm gonna put this, of course, nowhere near my eye because that would be very, very bad. I'd put this on the sides of my cheek that I want to suck in really weirdly. While this continues to dry, I'm gonna take a line of concealer and just conceal that harsh line that we have in the middle of our face. I'm loving the way this came out. To be honest, this was the look that I was most excited about overall, and for good reason. I was so nervous that this wouldn't work out, but I think it worked out really, really nicely. So because this liquid is so shiny, I'm gonna go in again with my gray and just go over it with a wash of gray, and then I'm gonna deepen up even more with some black. To deepen it up even more, I'm taking a pencil brush and I'm going to dip into that black shade Abyss. And we'll blend that back in using the MAC Gray shade. Because I want this shade to look particularly healthy, I'm going in with a pink lipstick. This one is the Too Faced Melted Matte lipstick in the shade Queen Bee. I blend it around the lips because, as you can see, I really wanted this to look like the hollow side is taking over the face. I'm loving how this look turned out. I'm freaking out over how cool the scarring effects are. So I'm gonna figure out something medieval to do with my hair, and then we'll be back for the final look. I hope you guys all enjoyed my half character creation, half hollow look. This one was so much fun to create. This look was the one that I was looking forward to the most. I've been planning this since August. Now, today was the first time I gave it a shot and I had no idea how it was going to look, so I was both excited and nervous to show it to you. But really, we'll never learn unless we try. So I'm really happy with the scarring effects I got. Now, although this costume is still under construction, I've been planning it and working on it for just about a year now. For the past 2 months, I've been really amping up the progress, but in addition to that, I've had a whole bunch of other plans and other things to make, so this one has taken a backseat, but at the very least, she is wearable for you today, and I'm happy to show at least what I have right now of my Elite Night set. Now, what did you guys think of all of the Halloween specials, including this one? It was really intense to make all of them. Some of them were costumes that I'd had for a long time. Other ones like this one are ones that I had to make as fast as I could in order to be ready for these looks. Now, I hope that you guys can appreciate and learn from them. That's really my goal for this series. I know that my audience tends to really not wear a lot of makeup, but at the same time, I hope that those of you who don't enjoyed the transformation aspect of this. I wanted these to be at least entertaining enough so that those of you who aren't interested at all in the tutorial aspect to get something fun to look at, fun to see, and something creative that will hopefully inspire you in some way. So I hope that I was able to achieve that for you guys. This has been the most ambitious project that I've ever done in this channel, and I'm pretty proud of what I've done so far. If you enjoyed this Dark Souls character transformation, feel free to give me a like and comment down below. I'd love to hear your feedback and hearing about what you want to see. If you liked these videos in particular, let me know as well, because if you did, then I'm going to pick this up and then do another series of specials, maybe during the summertime when convention season draws near. Otherwise, I'm going to wait until next Halloween and then have another set. I already have a couple character inspirations. At the very least, I'm pretty confident that I'm going to continue these next October. To conclude, Dark Souls and Bloodborne are two series that have inspired me for the past few years now. I rarely get engrossed in things so deeply as I have with this series, and it's because so much of it touches upon the metaphors of life. I consider Halloween, for example, to be a metaphor for things like depression and losing hope in the world. But even with this look in particular, there's always two sides to the story. You can always keep up hope and always keep up your humanity, even when there's so much lingering underneath. So that is my takeaway from this particular look. It takes a lot of what's inside and puts it on the out, and that's why I love makeup and costuming so much. So I hope you guys have a wonderful night or day wherever you are. Be good to each other, and I'll see you on the next one. That would have been the wrong eye. Gingy's making candles in the other room. It's like craft day in here. Because Dark Souls tends... Why can't I say Dark Souls tends? I used a lot of powder. Pooter.